Hello there, welcome back. It is I, Wizlix, and here we are to play the Grace A Satanic Chronicles. So last time we were stuck here, right? I couldn't do anything, right? I only had one life left, right? Well, now we're back at 3. First thing, because nothing happened last time, right? Right? We still couldn't figure out what was the problem here. But weirdly enough, even though we actually already pressed his testimony, if we do it again, weirdly, yes, because I looked around. Here, just need to wait a bit. Okay. Here, when she's saying something like she doesn't like it, think. Now we can do something about it. I don't know why. Okay, time to continue this. Is something wrong, Mr. McGill did? Oh, I do apologize. Was there something the matter, McConsell? I'm just wondering if Mr. Stratt's last comment made something occur to you, perhaps. You seem to be thinking something to yourself. Oh, no, it was nothing important. I like when they say not. You get it. I don't want to explain more. It would be weird. I was feeling bad for the pool as is all. I remember feeling desperate myself as a young lad. Out in the dark. It was terrifying, so it was. I find it weird to say shut up. But well, I see, yes, I'm sure we can all sympathize. I'm still scared of the dark now. No, now? Really? I don't know about yourself. I find the darkness seems to make everything you hear seem that much louder as well. That's only suspicious. Yeah. I suppose it does, maybe. Mrs. Stratt. Did you hear something that night? Anything unusual noise, perhaps? Nah, not really. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. Jabez, there's no need to tell the whole world of me foibles, you scamp. What a pity. If only Mr. Stratt had heard something, as have given us a vital new clue. What should we make of that last statement of hers? My lord, I believe the statement just made by the witness is probably important. All she said was that she heard nothing. Yes, which is the probably important point. I'm not sure of it. For defendants, unfortunately, Mr. McGill said that he heard a loud sound and that's why he woke up. Or maybe she heard some loud sound and that's why she started to scream. I'm not sure I don't understand the inner working of your Eastern mind, Counsel, nevertheless. Miss Ginna Lestrade, you will supplement your formal testimony by repeating the last name, please. Peppermint, what are you on about? Don't give me all your fancy talk. I know what you're trying to do. Well, it won't work on me. That's right, until the judge. Always a good move. But now what can we do? Guess now we need to present something. We need to present something. The best thing to present will be not this. The testimony, actually. Can you repeat it, please? Just to be sure. You're training to hear what was happening the entire time, since the moment you hear yourself. Not exactly, no. Well, there was no one in the cabin to start with. We just pushed the cushion and have the butchers to see what was the reports. But then when I saw this swell getting on, put my head down so he didn't notice me. And Mr. Miguel sat on the seat under which you were hiding, correct? Yeah. But you Adam and Eve, what a mug. Then all I could do was to listen. I was waiting to jump out, okay? Could only hear him snoring. I never heard the door open. I just had to say to put and listen to I'm driving his pigs to markets. Well, it doesn't add up again. Mr. Stroud, what do you have just told the courts? It's clearly at odds with the facts. Well, it will mean that simply... Well, the person who died never came inside the cabin. Absolutely. It seems my little Nipponese friend is not as dull-witted as I feared. Van Zix realized it too. Okay, now we're getting on something. Is the Strad? Oh, maybe forgive me, but I insist that you're still lying at the moment. I'm sure of it. Or some clumsy about his name at the very least. Yes, my lord. I expect you to demonstrate this alleged contradiction to the courts. According to Mr. Strad, while she was hiding in the omnibus that night, he heard nothing but the sound of Mr. McGelded snoring. Or think. You must get think. There's something else you should have heard. Well, my lord, allow me to elaborate. On a particular sound that Mr. Strad could not have failed to hear on the night in question. It's not very clearly explained by the presence of the following person. Well, simply... the victim. Yes, my lord, the sound that Mr. Strad cannot have failed to hear. Is that of the victim, Mr. Mason, boarding the omnibus. It's a bit dumb to do this, but well. Explain your reasoning, counsel. Mr. Strad, allow me to confirm something. You told me earlier that you were the first person on board the omnibus. Is that correct? Yeah, of course I was. I got on while the driver was in the pub, didn't I? And the next person to board the omnibus was Mr. McGelded. And it was, not a soul was in the cabin when I climbed aboard. At least, not in plain sight. You were to all intents and purposes alone in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus at that time. Yeah, not just say as much, I wasn't traveling with anyone else, that's what you mean. Yeah, so I'm getting on, remember? Through the crack under the seat cushion. Was on his own for sure. Okay, from what we've heard, the carriage made a number of stops after that, on its onward journey. During which time did you not hear the door opening or closing at all? Never heard of it. Exactly what I was listening for, weren't I? Waiting for this well to leave. In which case, when and how did the victim end up in the carriage? You know that the victim collapsed inside the closed cabin of the omnibus. Therefore, Mr. Strad's statements about what she did or did not hear is at odds with the facts. Yes, this spirit thief's statement was clearly flawed. Alvin Zeeks. He knew. He knew all too well that there was an inconsistency in Mr. Strahd's statements. No, I don't know. Will seem walls of thanks are in order for my learned friend. What are you talking about? The demonstration mattered impeccably. His witness and her colorful statements, entirely unreliable, was a convenient untruths, nothing more. Is that right? How could the victim possibly not have boarded the omnibus? It makes no sense whatsoever, and this girl is a pickpocket. Let's not forget that. Oh no. Ah yeah, right. Didn't even say anything. I don't want to judge the dear little mite just because she has some rather naughty ways. I must say, I gotta buy liars. And neither can I. I don't want to judge the girl just because she has some less than celebrous ways. I must say, I gotta buy liars. Uh-oh. Oh no, 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 no. Please, only one left. Or two. It's 5 jury members. Uh-oh. Leaning towards guilty. Well, consideration for others is refreshing, my Japanese friend. The considerable trouble you have spared me. Really? Yes, really refreshing. Are you playing? We've forgotten who you're working for, you useless Eastern Amadam. This is carnage. It's perfect. Juror number 2 is the only one left. Where this is going, I know. We can find some new way to convince everyone of Mr. McGilded's innocence. The judge will rule. We'll have lost. I very much wanted to believe the words of one of London's most respected gentlemen. But those of us in service know we must upset her truths. I don't know. Goodness, can you do your thing? I know you can do it. I believe in you. Yet the witness's last statement seems to have revealed a critical inconsistency in her story. However, if we consider the possibility that her statement is in fact the truth, it may shed an entirely new light on this whole case. What are you saying? Sorry, sir? Whatever do you mean? Counsel, I will not tolerate you attempting to prorogue my adjudication. Explain itself at once. When the accused boarded the omnibus on the night in question, the victim was nowhere to be seen. Consequently, the carriage door was not heard opening a single time, as testified by the witness in the stand. And yet the victim's body was found inside the carriage. These petty thieves' words are to be believed. How do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus? I don't know. There's only one way to explain how the victim came to be inside the carriage. Wasn't there already? There's another entrance, or he was put there after he died. It's not the only way. Obviously, the victim must have been placed in the carriage after he was killed. I mean, my learned friend, what was the function of the obviously in your last sentence? Let's say Lord Van Zeeks. Oops. He obviously is troubling me also. No, that's really not the point. The point is that the victim must have been moved into the carriage afterwards. And answer me this. How could the cadaver have been placed inside a moving carriage? Well, I shall have to penalize defense heavily. Uh-oh. All this irrelevant rambling. Okay. Penalty is evidently not heavy enough, judging from the Nibbity's eyes, to ask you again. Well, he wasn't there already. My learned friend. What was the function? Oh no. Another entrance. Oh, I get it actually. No, we might lose. Am I right? I mean, all those three are so dumb. I don't know. It wasn't open even once. The only explanation is that the victim entered the enclosed cabin some other way. I wonder what new fantasy you would come up with in your blind panic. But behold, the omnibus is here for all to see. Only one side of the enclosed cabin is furnished with a door. The other has only windows. These windows, which cannot possibly open, in short, is the entrance to the cabin other than the door. There could be. It's one possibility you haven't considered. Really? There's one other way inside that isn't the door. Another opening, the use of which allowed the victim to appear inside the enclosed cabin. Defense will identify the location for the courts. The omnibus on which the incident occurred. Well, it's obviously here. I can point it. The answer is obvious. You only have been on the skylight. The skylight is the only way to. Good, so that's what I'll do. The ludicrous proposal almost has me lost for words. However, the alley may well be large enough for someone to pass through. Do you have any objections? You claim, but do you have a shred of evidence to support your owl-brained theory? Both Mr. McGilded and Miss Lestrade say the same in the testimonies. Each claim to have heard a loud thud, that had a noise made by someone falling to the floor, which has already been explained. But the sound of the victim falling from his seat having been assaulted with the dagger. Yes, but will the man slipping from the seat onto the floor really have made such a loud noise as the witnesses describe? Noise loud enough to cause Mr. Lestrade to let out an involuntary cry. Perhaps in fact, it was the moment that the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No, let me rephrase that. The victim didn't enter the cabin as such. He fell into it. I'm so against that, actually. I'm not suggesting that Kevin fell from the skylight in the cabin. That's simply impossible. How can you be so sure? Because if the victim had fallen inside through the skylight, as you say, the passenger on the roof deck have seen it happen. And yet not one person made mention of such events in the testimony. Well, yes, that's true, but... My humble fellow, make a wee comment here. You sure now the two fellas were sat on the roof that testified before? And nothing of the victim falling through a skylight. It seems to me, my lord, that this is not much a case of them not saying, but case of them being unable to say. I think perhaps the two fellas could be having something of a compelling reason not to mention what happened. Would you not agree, fellow ladies and gentlemen of the jury? I'm pretty sure it's him who can't say everything, and that's still a lie. I mean, the ones who stuck the knife in the man were... Just what exactly are you insinuating here, you blitherer? You'd rather, he said, you'd rather. What are you insinuating? It's a flaming outrage. A good mind to give you a blick in a minute. I'll give you a shinner in a minute, he said, and so will I. It's a fair play. Effectively accusing me, sitting gentleman and well-respected banker. And me, a very angry hater. Hater, not hater. Just think that someone like me would have stabbed that man in the gut, it's a disgrace. It's scandalous. I protest, I protest. It's lady first and fair play something. That's right, but I think it's all with a B. Protest too, about you rotten scoundrel. It's not the time, witnesses. Will not permit the wanton invasion of the stand. Return to the anteroom at once. This is beyond reason, my lord. It's outrageous. It's very hurtful, you know. Lord, if I make comments. Go ahead, Lord Van Zeeks. What defense had incited this outburst from the witnesses? My learned friend has been fit to abandon all protocol and cue the witnesses. Witnesses without proof. Accused. I never intended to. It seems, young Nipponese, that your command of the English tongue is wanting. You proposed to this court that the victim fell through the skylight from the roof deck of the omnibus. That the hypothesis cannot possibly stand without the rooftop passengers being aware of the events. You have branded these gentlemen liars who intimidated their criminal guilt. The British courts of law, it is what is termed as a baseless accusation. And I was rash to put this idea forward without any actual evidence, but don't just dismiss it without a second thought. What are you wasting time for? Get them to testify. I thought there was something fishy about that hat from the moment I laid eyes on the fellow. But to see this matter through now, one way or another, this filth and rubbish in our midst, we must dispose of it at once. Oh my god. I hate that. Oh. Who do they think they are? In a complete frenzy. It's a fair play, Mr. Frost. My lord? We will take the stand again and make another formal testimony. In reference to the indictment brought by the defense. Yes, my lord. I didn't come here for this. There's no time to think this through. All I can do is keep pushing forward. I think you should think. I don't like that. I hate that. But the only two people up on the roof deck. They're all alive, I can swear on that. Meaning, if anything had happened where we're standing, do you think one or the other of us would have noticed? In any case, neither of us know the thing first about the victim, when the reason to kill the man. skylight was shut the entire time, I tell you. Couldn't possibly have opened it. You're so sure the victim fell through the skylight. What's your proof? So obvious that this proof is not an actual evidence. I hate it. Only the witness could have performed any malevolence act on this open rooftop deck, without the other noticing forthwith. That's right, you see? But who might it be then? We're innocent, I tell you. Although logically, of course, the argument falls down if the two of you were in collusion with one another. According to investigation by Scotland Yard, the witnesses share no common dealings. But I don't trust coppers. I don't trust you all, people. What? Well, why are they so weird? Something doesn't feel right here. Try is going in a favor, really. But why do I feel so uneasy? Counsel for defense, over to you. Cross-examination, please. Yes, my lord. Please, do something. Zix, help. At no time did the victim, Mr. Mason, climb up to join you on the roof deck. Certainly not, Deacon. You. And what? Question about it, he said. None at all. Oh, but yes, of course. I remember seeing them both. I saw the victim inside the closed cabin talking with this man here. Is this true, Mr. McGilded? Give me, my lord, at the risk of repeating myself. I boarded the omnibus alone and not off inside, almost immediately. That's an outright lie. Without doubt you were engaged in. Let me stop you there, fella, and ask, do you have any evidence at all? It's all about evidence in the courts these days, so it is. You do well to remember that. I saw you with my own eyes. Doing so well. If anything had happened where we're sitting, do you think one or the other of us will have noticed? Well, it was on the final run of the omnibus at past 10 o'clock in the evening. Would certainly have been quite dark, perhaps, too dark to see clearly. Is this some kind of luck? Is this some kind of joke, he said. Is that what this is? Or perhaps one or the other of you fell asleep briefly. Are you fair dinkum, sir? Are you serious, sir? That's what it said. It's impossible, I tell you. I'd give you the keys to the vault if you could fall asleep in that bitter cold. If you did manage it, your eyelids will freeze shut and you never open them again. That's extreme. Was extreme, I tell you. And we had to put up with it because this man had locked the door. And the true gent would have unlocked it and let me in when I knocked. I'm dreadfully sorry about that, young fella. But you see, I was away with the fairies and I didn't hear you at all. That's a lie, I saw you through the glass. You were talking to someone. Now, it was a cold night, so it was. You do be seeing things that aren't real in the cold. It's highly surprising. Seeing things. Well, you have reached an impasse here on this particular point. Don't take it personally now, lad. You are my suspect in this case, and it's only fair that you and the other fiend are too. Open and free competition is what the capitalist society is all about. This isn't a competition I should like to be involved in, really. I hate it. In case none of us know the first thing about the victim. And no reason to kill the man. I had never met Mr. Fry's fired Mason before. Oh no, not once, never. Never met the man before, he said, never. I knew Mr. First, never had dealings with the victim either. That's right, sir. This doesn't have much to do with brick makers, to be perfectly honest. I imagine not. You see, only different ways can I put this. Thus, the connection to the gentleman who are inside the victim, the cabin. Mr. McGalden? Galden? Yes, Consul, what can I be doing for you? The witness's last statement give you pause or for force somehow. Not the remotest connection? That's right now, I wonder. What are you two insinuating now? Mr. Fireplate has been too long, so it has. I'm not very much mistaken. Well, it is fast approaching, is it not? Your payment date. I beg your pardon. Borrow 20 guineas from me, sir. At an unconscionable rate of interest, you tricked me. It's an extortion. Well, now that the touch of begrudgery, is it? Sort of begrudgery that might motivate a fellow to pass his crimes on another. And young Mr. First. What do you want with me, sir? You've been making heads for a living, do you not? That top head sliding about on your head, that one your own creations, is it? I'm still just an apprentice, you understand? I'll only find the perfect fit for the fine gents who walks through the door. Perfect fit, is it? Well, this is a very distinctive design, so it is. Niggas must like it, I tell you, like a distinctive touch. Customers, such as Fry's fine Mason, maybe? Was a photographic print of the victim submitted as evidence for, my lord? Oh, this you mean? I can't help thinking that the poor fellow's hat looks distinctly similar, would you say? That's one of my hats. Oh, that it is. It will seem the brickmaker was a customer of yours. Tough customer the wager. And we quarrel with all the distinctiveness of the goods. Oh no, sir, absolutely not. Well, there's really nothing more to add. Wouldn't be right to say that the two fellas here haven't the remotest connection to the victim, you see. I don't like this man now. I will never call you daddy anymore. I rest my case. You little weasel. He's better at this than I am. So Miguel has certainly been through it in his research, hasn't he? Please don't let me little interruption. Me little? All of the proceedings just got an achievement. Scarlet was shut in that time, I tell you. We can possibly have opened it. Are you quite certain about that? The Scarlet was shut in at that time. I'm going to lose my block with you in minutes. I'm going to lose his rag with you in a minute. That's what he said. Take a look for yourself, go on. You see, it's just fast now. It's like it was in the night. It is, of course. The fella at the side of Mr. Mason could likely break right through it, still and all. Mason Fairplay. Is that his full name? No, Mason. Mason is the one who died. My bad. What is your name again? Bruce Fairplay. Just looking at the size of the thing, you understand? No, you hold on there a minute, sir. The size of the thing or the thing means nothing. Not on its own. Let's consider the bigger picture here, shall we? Let's not be the uncanny, shall we? I was riding the omnibus on another occasion when I broke wind loudly, showing myself with it as it happens. Expected confession, Mr. First. I just meant to say, well, the point is, I tried to open the skylight, you see. Just my luck, I couldn't make it budge. The stench was terrible. Everyone was looking daggers at me. I went as red as rouge, I did. You expected me to sentence you. Oh no, sir. Point is, the skylight can't be opened. I tried when I was inside the cabin of shame. You have something to say about that, Mr. Strad? It opens. Skylight. That is what we're talking about, right? All them skylights open dead easy. Obviously then you can load that weapon. That's a lie, I tell you, otherwise when I broke wind, I can't do it from inside, you mug. Look, a few weeks ago I was up on the roof deck of one of them drags. At a great hole, I mean, at buses coming out me ears. It's not the problem to be eulogizing on the subject of your criminal activities. Anyway, a bit of scare. I lifted the last bloke's purse. Not wise to me. All four of them surrounded me, so I couldn't hop off the bus and let it get. What I did, I used the skylight, opened the catch, and jumped right through. Yeah, the catch for them skylight is on the top side. That's why you can't open them from the cabin. Opens from the roof deck. I went up onto the roof of the omnibus at once and verified the witnesses' claims. You can see that it is the case. See? Order. It appears that this risk girl's statement is quite true. I don't believe it. The skylight opens from the roof deck. Will be the clue we've been looking for. They'll be happy about it. We're together when we checked it. Be happy. Don't like this. The skylight opens now. Perhaps I should investigate for myself. I'm sure the victim fell through. Well. The skylight was fastened shut before. Now the catch has been bent down. Should be able to open it. You can totally see inside the carriage through this opening, that's for sure. And there's a lamp in the enclosed cabin. I'm sure the witness would have been able to see quite clearly. That's not good for us. Was clearly not here before. We can see that it's not the same color, but also well. It's also not the same material, so we never know. This is a storage compartment, but there's nothing in here. It's only empty. That's blood, isn't it? Yeah, I made no mention of it. That's new. It's open very wide, isn't it? Wide enough to kick someone like you through it suddenly. Ronaldo? Or someone like me? Look just here. Well, the question is blood. Will there be blood stain there? Won't be unrelated to the case, can it? Like, once again, it's not real blood, I think. Don't want to present it, I feel so bad about it. We want to hear it, we came here to say what we say. Yeah, you call us both chaser. Brand us as criminals. You call us liars, that's what he means. Accuse of us doing ill. Stands the moments. There's no hard evidence that he can pronounce themselves. They're always there, although in much the same position as one another here. Don't crack this case soon, he'll crack his teeth. Though if those two men really were involved in some way. I couldn't say, I mean, I don't really know anything about them, do I? By the same token, I don't really know anything about Mr. McGeldon either. It's so hard to know what to believe here. We should try to remember that it's evidence alone that can truly determine the outcome of the trial. Evidence, you see. We're not getting argued against decisive evidence, including the members of the jury. They're saying that what we need now is to find a conclusive piece of evidence. You know, I hate it, but we'll have to do it, unfortunately. Oh, no, not like that. You're not scared, really. Or do you want to sully the name of Kazuma like that? On the night in question, the victim was fatally stabbed in the stomach. And immediately afterwards, the victim's body was pushed through the skylight into the cabin below. Those are the facts, and the irrefutable proof. You know that it's not real. Can't be that dumb. I mean, it's clearly visible in the omnibus that stands before us today. It's the record room. That's not a humbug. You don't possibly have any evidence. No, you can't. I mean, you didn't do it, I tell you. Impossible. Irrefutable proof here in this courtroom. I hate this. I hate this so much. Because it's so obvious that we have to not do it. I believe everyone will appreciate the little clarification here. What exactly within the omnibus is this evidence to which you allude? We will point out what it is when the victim fell from the roof deck through the skylights. Oops. Wrong button again. It's not blood. But it's a bit too early to be sure that it's not blood. What I mean is that it doesn't exist yet. Things to identify blood, I think. That's blood. This blood stain proves two things. Firstly, when the incident occurred, the skylight of the omnibus was open. And secondly, the victim was already bleeding when he fell through the opening. And so it followed. No! I can't. I really can't. That Mr. McGill, who was inside the enclosed cabin himself at the time, can possibly be guilty of this crime. Please help me. Help me. Yes, help. No, not exactly you, but the blood could have sprayed up there when the fellow was stabbed inside the cabin. And only found its way to that one particular spot, the skylight. And that will be very convenient. But let's keep it in mind that the skylight catch can only be unfastened from the roof deck. I myself wouldn't have been able to open it now, would I? But there's no way to know for certain, is there? The gentry fell through the skylight, I mean. Why don't you have a good look on the floor of the cabin between the two seats, Mr. First? It's all too plain if you see. There's the aftermath that shows the poor fellow dropped from fair heights right there. There it is. There's something really wrong with these statements. Number 1. If you fall from the roof to the cabin, you will fall straight. Because it's really small actually. So it will be leg first. And because it will be leg first, it will be pretty hard for the body to be flat, you see. Or be against a wall or something. Meaning that this wall will be actually stained too. That is not the case here. That's why it's not possible. Number 2. What is the number 2 actually? I don't know. Let me think about it again. Yeah. Depending on how he falls. If it's like, you know, the toast thing. No, when you batter toast and we say that it always ends up on the better side. If there's so much blood in this particular place, let's imagine that maybe he fell horizontally. It will mean that, well, either he fell on the back or on the front. Problem is with the front, well, the knife will have been piercing his body. But from the back, yeah, maybe it's alright. Let's say that maybe it's on the back, but how the hell? Why? Lies. My fellow jury members, I think we can all agree that this is clear proof of the defendant's innocence, can't we? I believe you can, yes sir. Clear to me now where the filthy rubbish can be found in this courtroom. Those people are so freaking dumb! So therefore they could pull the wool over my eyes, did they? Yes. I won't tolerate any of the guild's carriages spilling solely with blood. I won't tolerate it. I always knew that nice gentleman who gave us that delightful bite couldn't have done such a thing. On freedom, everyone, 1, 2, 3. Please, help us. On 6. A chilling performance, Mr. McGilded. And what will you be referring to there now, Lord Van Ziggs? Help us, please. Help us find the truth among those lies. With your beauty, your brain, everything that you can, please do something. A blood stain in the frame of the skylight. Such evidence is null and void. Don't say why. Don't talk. I like that, really. For one extremely simple reason. The smear of blood never existed. What are you talking about? Don't object, please. Let the man talk. You shame to Kizuma. Remember this, Rinosuke. Basics, I love you even more. Was Lieutenant Scotland Yard's investigation of the omnibus. The officers involved went over the carriage with a fine-tooth comb. I can state with absolute certainty. No such smear of blood existed in the carriage. At least, not until this trial began. But, it's suggesting Lord Van Ziggs that the stain of blood was fabricated, my lord, yes, while this court has been in session. Well, however, I must say I didn't expect such crude reasoning from the prosecutor of your standing, Lord Van Ziggs. But I'm Magnus McGilded, well known all over the capital for his fine contribution to public life. I don't take kindly to slander, and I'll fight it to the bitter end. Even if it's rolling off the tongue or the ripple of the belly. Mr. McGilded, I realize that this is your first appearance in court as the accused. However, I'm well aware of your involvement behind the scenes in the great many affairs of dubious nature. You're very adept when it comes to avoiding getting your own hands dirty. And each time it happens, the case you're involved in is investigated. You adapt the facts. What does that even mean? Well, it means fabricated evidence. You wield a fortune the size of Mr. McGilded's, however ill-gotten it may be. Nothing is impossible. Tampering with evidence, manipulating the scene of a crime, bribing witnesses. I trust your ability to concoct the most convenient of stories, sir. The Lord Van Zeeks. This will not do, to be sure. Will it now, Consul? I think it's fair to say this does all sound like a rather far-fetched excuse by a desperate man. The blood and skylight didn't exist, you say? If you will cast your minds back, is it not true that the omnibus there has been in the courtroom the entire time? Or could anyone possibly have put a smear of blood in it without Walt and his wife seeing? Isn't that right now, Consul? The omnibus has been in full view in the entire time that... No? Alan Fran. Is to hearing your opinion on this matter, in your own words. As you wish. So, could someone have tampered with the omnibus during this trial? You're asking me, I think. It could have been possible. As defense lawyer, it's my job to advocate for the defendant as best as I can. But still, I feel as though there's something even more important at stake here. There is no evidence to suggest that the defendant did as my learned friends suggest. However, in terms of having the opportunity to carry out the alleged tampering, there is one possibility. Thank you. Explain yourself, Consul. Thank you. Thank you so much. Love you. Well, Van Zeeks, yes there is. Since my learned neighbor and his friend has no intention of running from the deceits. I'm sure everyone still remembers clearly the recess that we were forced to take. The result of the smoke grenade fired by the witness currently in the stand, Miss Janella Strad. What is going on? Be careful. Cover your face. Let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus. Let the courtroom. Whatever. The courtroom was filled with smoke. The room was thrown into confusion. All us were made to leave this chamber. In that brief interval, the veil of smoke and all the chaos. It could have been possible to steal inside the omnibus. Thank you. Are you wise? What are you trying to pull? You rotten fakeless Gauger? Fakeless Gauger. You're supposed to be defending me. It's a wicked plot. It's a plot to undermine me, so it is. Whatever you think it is, it changes nothing, the facts are the same. After this courtroom was evacuated, only as a result of the smoke grenade, the number of inconsistencies materialized in relation to the omnibus. Inconsistencies such as, to start with, the storage compartment underneath the rear passenger seats wasn't empty to begin with, but the police investigate the omnibus. This compartment was full of the driver's items. Secondly, we have the smear of blood on the edge of the skylight. The have said it was not presented at the start of the trial this morning. And finally, okay, not finally, I guess. Unfortunately, Lord Van Zeeks, no one is able to corroborate your claims. That's true. When the omnibus was first wheeled out, both the storage compartment and skylight were shut. Accordingly, I'm afraid to say, we cannot establish with certainty if this evidence is a result of tampering or not. Indeed, my lord, no doubt there was not a single person who saw fit to verify such things. About the omnibus. Is there anything else unusual about the omnibus? I have, actually. My lord, Consul, there is one further inconsistency. Mark that surely could not have been present at the start of the trial. Because that's why we doubted if he was stabbed on the ground or on the seats. You dare to betray me, you little maggots. Better start watching your back. I really like you. You're my... Sounds my gilded. Look all the way to defense clarifications. This trial keeps swinging one way and then the other. I have no idea what's the truth and what's deception. What am I supposed to believe here? I shall have to ask you to elaborate, Counsel. Where exactly is this alleged mark that you claim appeared at some point during the trial? Well, it's just... Here. We'll consider the victim fell through the skylight onto the floor of the cabin. We'll certainly expect to find signs of blood where he landed. But as far as I could recall, this blood stain on the cabin floor was not there when the omnibus was first brought into the courtroom. Well, actually, if you want to know more about this investigation, about this whole trial, you have to wait until next week to finally see what is the actual truth behind all this. As you can see, there's also the other save, but whatever. As always, thank you for watching. I hope you liked it, and I hope that you have a good day, or maybe a good night, whatever. And for us, we'll see y'all later. See you. Finally, Lord Van Zeeks, I really, really, really cherish you now. You're my favorite character in this game. Forever and ever. There's also Kazuma, but well, love them both. I'm just a bit sad that, well, this happened to Kazuma. Finally, Ryunosuke woke up. Finally, you're just a fool. You can do something. You. Anyway, ciao.